Would you date a bus driver? If he owned the bus. Let's get into this conversation, honey. Guys, my name is K Shantae. Hi, it's your girl K Shantae, and I am here. It's your girl K. So y'all, let's get into it. I wanted to come and do a separate standalone video about this Eboni K Williams situation. Oh my god, I have so much to say. Oh, I got so much to say. This is a touchy subject because I just be like, huh, what, huh? So let's get into it. If you don't know the story, Eboni K Williams is a lawyer in a TV show. She has her own TV show or something like that. And she was doing an interview with Iyanla Vanzant. If you don't know who that is, that's the not on my watch lady that be doing the therapy work with the peoples. So yes, homegirl sat down with her, did an interview, and Iyanla asked her would she date a bus driver, and that was the lady's response, if he owned the bus. And she kind of said it in a derogatory way, in a classist way, and people, it hit the internet and it went viral. It was just a sensation. People was just yap talking about it. People was mad and used this as a way to tear this black lady down, honey. They was going for her jugular. And she even recently, she addressed it on her show, and then she also went on the Breakfast Club and addressed it with DJ Envy and what's that black man name? I can't think of his name, the crazy one that be in the news, Charlamagne. She addressed it with them, and so I'm here to talk about it to get my thoughts, because honey, I'm a black woman that be dating black men, so I must speak on this. I feel like if you're not black and more so a black woman, I feel like, not to say you shouldn't be speaking on the subject, but the people that have the experience with this subject should be the main ones in the front talking and having dialect about the situation. Now, black men have the right to speak for themselves and stand up for themselves, but a lot of the talk and a lot of the stuff be roped in. People just don't want to listen to black women. People don't just see us as, oh, you're angry, you're aggressive, you're this, you're that, and don't really care to listen to what we be talking about when it comes to this dating thing. Let's address the situation. So first off, was the comment wrong? I think that the comment is wrong to the basis of classism. It showed classism and elitism. It showed elitism, like you think you're better than somebody because you may have gotten this Ivy League education, you're a lawyer, and you are in the who's and you're in the circles of big time people, big names. And so to dig on a blue collared everyday worker is wrong. It's wrong. It was wrong, and I understand why a black man would feel some type of way, or even black women that didn't like the comment. I get why it received black backlash because of all this dating advice and all of this rap about what you should and shouldn't do in a relationship. Child, bye. With a person like Eboni K, a lot of the conversation on social media was, let's be honest, would she even be in the same circle as a bus driver? And 9 times out of 10, she wouldn't. 9 times out of 10, she wouldn't be in a situation to where she would be introduced to date a bus driver or a blue-collar, regular, everyday American citizen. She just wouldn't. She's in circles where most of the people she's in circles with are probably people that make the same amount of money she does and have the same type of access and opportunity. So logically speaking, homegirl probably wouldn't even be in the same circle as a bus driver. But that wasn't the point of the question. I think the point of the question was, are you okay with dating someone that doesn't make the same amount of money as you and doesn't have the same opportunities and stuff as you? And I think that's what Iyanla was asking. And it ended up being, you had to name a job of a bus driver to get that across. People tried to drag her on, the whole black women settling. And this is my thing about it. When it comes to what would you do when it comes to your dating life, you need to do what's best for you. if you are a person that you make $100K a year, if you don't want to date somebody that don't make that, then that's your preference. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just what it is. I personally feel like that comes with a double-edged sword, because if the conversation got into settling, and it got into the conversation about checklists. You know, people tell you have standards and, you know, check off these boxes for you to get a good man. And it's like, that's cool and all, but that stuff has a two-way street to it. On one end of the street, I think it's important to have standards, and I think that people have preference and standards, and there's nothing wrong with that, because you know what you like, you know what you want, and you shouldn't be laying up with somebody that you don't want and that you don't have a connection to for whatever reasons. So I do feel like, yes, standards and preferences are important if they're not rooted in anti-blackness, right? But if you're not willing to put up with the hassle of being with a person that makes less than you, because you know you may have to carry their weight or carry them in your life or in your financial situation, if you don't want to do that, then that's your business. On the other hand, with these check boxes and this checklist and these standards comes a situation where that's why a lot of us are single. Like, I'm trying to work through my damn thought process, but it's like, the checklist and having the standards is why a lot of successful black women be single, because we're not willing to put up with the mess. We're not willing to settle. We're not willing to put up with the baggage of what comes with it. So a lot of us end up being single for a long time. And sometimes a lot of us, like those girls that like Eboni K. Williams, that's on that financial level up there, like real successful, they be ending up single and never get married, never have a family, never do all of those things because of these high standards and checklists. And the reason for that is because, let's be honest, we live in a world where black people do not come in this world with a free ample of opportunity like our white counterparts. We don't have the opportunity to go to Ivy League schools. We don't have the opportunity to have a trust fund set up. We don't have the opportunity to have land and houses, and grandma done passed this house down to me, and grandpa got a business in his name, and so we're well off. A lot of black people are poor and born into poverty. So a lot of us have to pull ourselves up by the bootstraps to even get a taste of success. Not even what they have, just a little bit. We gotta pull ourselves up by the bootstraps. And a lot of black people and a lot of black men and some women do not do that. A lot of times we get people that they settle in life. They're okay with living a regular lifestyle. They're okay with not going to college. They're okay with, you know, getting a job, doing that. You know, that's fine. That we live in a world where it's not possible for every single person to pull themselves up by the bootstraps and be successful. It just doesn't work that way. It just doesn't. We don't have the same opportunity. So black people, I'm speaking to black people because I don't know nothing about them other people. I'm speaking to black folks, and I know in the black community, a lot of us come from broken homes, motherless homes, fatherless homes, poor, poverty, having to struggle. That's why black people know how to survive so well, because we had to grow up doing it. So, you know, that's how that goes. And so a lot of black women, we get out here and we make it happen. A lot of us do, and a lot of us mature faster than men. And so, you know, we'll go out here and work 2-3 jobs to make ends meet. We'll go out here and go to school. We'll do all of that. And the reason why it's like, okay, you got a slew of black women that's successful and got this and that going on. And then you look at black men and it's like, wow, when I have these check boxes in these standards, you wipe out a lot of black men that are available because of the check boxes and the standards, because a lot of black men don't go and get educations and don't have jobs where they make $100K a year. So it's like you wipe yourself short when you do start making them check boxes, and that's where the double-edged sword comes into play. And so it's like people were arguing, well, why do y'all want black women to settle, to date low or to date below what they want? And it's like, I think it's a situation where the argument can be had. No one's telling a black woman to settle, but I do feel like we do have to adjust we may have to adjust our standards and our check boxes because it depends on what you're wanting. You know what I'm saying? So like, I was watching other content creators and what they thought about the situation, and it was like one of them had brought up, once you start to get older, your pool of men start to lessen, right? Like, you get in your late 30s and 40s. Okay, sis, you still ain't got nobody. Okay, so what that means? So, okay, let me go back to this checkbox. Let me go out to these standards. Okay, so what can I adjust? What can I work with? Because essentially, if you're not willing to adjust and work with those standards that you set, there is a possibility that you may end up single and by yourself and one of those career women. And let me say this, it's nothing wrong if you want to be by yourself. If you end up by yourself with no kids, that doesn't make you less of a woman because Sally over here done had 5 kids and is married, or she's a mom and da da da. It doesn't make you less. And society has taught us that, right? Like, society makes women feel bad for, if you don't never have kids, if you don't never settle down, you're looked at as, oh, well, she might be a hoe, or she might be loose, or she mean, or she can't get a man. And it's like, no, it's just, I want my life a certain way when it comes to dating a man. And if I don't find that, I'm not willing to adjust my standards. And some women aren't willing to adjust them. And so guess what? That means it's a strong possibility you might end up by yourself. And there's nothing wrong with that. We are not all going to be on this earth. It's not in the cards for everybody to do the same thing. Everybody's not going to have kids. Everybody's not going to get married. Everybody's not going to have a boyfriend or girlfriend. Everybody's not going to do the same thing. And I think that that's something that society has taught us, like, oh, well, if you're not married and if you don't have a family and if you don't have a big house and if you don't check off these boxes, you're not winning in life. And that's not true. That is not true. You got to do what's best for you and your path of life. If you want those things, then go and get those things and do those things. But just because you don't have them doesn't make you less of a woman or less of a person. And Black women do struggle with that in society. So that was one conversation or a point that was had. Another one was, I think one of her ex-partners was a white man. She was engaged to a white man. People started trying to bring that up. Well, sis, you dating white men, da, da, da. And it's like, Black men do it all day long. Black men date non-Black women all the time. And the reasons why, they will tell you, oh, y'all too aggressive. Y'all hair too nappy. Oh, y'all this or y'all that. Y'all too this and da, da, da. They will tell you, like, oh, I don't want to do that because of these reasons. And it's like, it's roped in the bullshit, but it's just like, Black men do it all day long. Like, Black women are dating Black men. Like, that's the thing. Like, it's Black men that aren't really dating Black women. Like, when you look at men that are big time successful rappers, actors, businessmen, a lot of these men, they don't have that look like me. They don't have that look like me beside them. Okay? It be non-Black women or it be high yellow women. So what are y'all talking about? Like, Black men are the ones that don't hardly be dating or pulling up and dating Black women that are not in the social class of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, huh? What? Like, y'all wanting to patronize this woman because she might have had a white partner. Okay. But Black men, when they rise to power or when they're successful, how many of them do you see with an African American Black woman, dark skin or not? How many? Look at your rappers. Look at their girlfriends. They all look the damn same. So it's only a few on my hand that I can count that I can say, okay, they have a Black woman as a partner. They have a dark skinned Black woman as a partner. So that's a whole nother conversation. But I get that people were offended about the whole class because I'm a regular American. You know, I'm a working American. I'm not rich. The comment is offensive, but it's not. She told the truth. Like, a lot of those people, they would not date regular average people unless it's a dynamic where a lot of men do, and that's because they hold power in dating women that don't make the same as them. They can tell you what to do. They can, you know what I'm saying? They can do all kind of things when they have that power dynamic of making more than you and taking care of you. So, yes, a lot of men will, but I don't think nothing was wrong with her conversation. Another point that was brought up is the fact that men, a lot of reason why black women don't want to date men that make less than them is because of the insecurity. Like, men be insecure when they don't make more than you or the same as you, and that is true. Not all of them, but a lot of them do. A lot of them, it plays on their gender roles of, I'm the man, I'm supposed to be the breadwinner, and you're making more than me, and they struggle with it. Like, a lot of people have come out and said that in this situation, like, honey, you know what I'm saying? Men don't want to be in a situation where you make it more than them and you're more successful than them. It causes problems in the relationship, and it does. And also these gender roles. Y'all be wanting to play these gender roles, but be wanting to split the bills. But want to say you the man, want to play those gender roles. If we're going to play gender roles, let's play them. If we're going to play gender roles, why are we splitting the bills? So that's why I'm like, you know, all of this stuff is kind of toxic, the way we be looking at stuff, the way we be seeing stuff, because a lot of it comes from old times of what used to be and what was. And it's like, we in a new day and age. It shouldn't be no gender roles. Nigga, help me, I help you. Be here for me, I be here for you. Like, we shouldn't be dating somebody off of how much they make a year. We shouldn't, but unfortunately, I get it. Like, it goes back to personal preference. If you want this type of certain lifestyle, then you have to move in that way. And speaking from personal experience, I'm like, y'all talking about black women don't want to date black men. Honey, I am a black woman that dates black men. I am. Like, just recently in the last few years have I had to step my standards up and create standards. I was that girl growing up. I didn't really have standards. I was dating the niggas, the N-words with the 3-4 kids, 3-4 baby mamas. I was dating men that made less than me, that had less than me. Like, I was that girl dating men like that. And it's like, guess what? Because I didn't have standards, because I didn't have no boundaries when it came to that, the same things kept happening in all those situations. All those relationships, the same things happened. The same things happen. I'm not saying all my relationships was like that, because I have a couple that, okay, that man made more than me, the man, you know, da da da. But I'm just saying, like, I was that girl that I didn't care about what baggage a man had going on. I didn't look at the red flags. I just dated off of how do you treat me and make me feel. And I'm gonna tell you, I got bit by that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I got bit by not having standards, by trying to date a man that don't make the same or more than me. It's a situation where, damn, can you take me out? Can you buy me nice things? I like to go out. I like to get courted. I can take you out too. Like, I'm not one of those girls that you just gotta do for me and I don't return the favor. But I am one of those people, like, damn, I like to do stuff. I like to travel. Everybody that know me know I like to travel. I like to eat. I like to go out. I like to do stuff. So it's like dating a man that's not financially stable. You're gonna run into the issue where they don't want to take you out. They're not buying you nice things. You can barely get them to go on a trip, and if they do go, they ain't got the money to do it. So it's kind of like, I get why women are saying, no, I'm not trying to do that. Like, it's stressful. It's stressful to date somebody. Now, don't get me wrong. Just because that is the case doesn't mean I'm out here saying, if you don't make more than me, I'm not going to give you a chance. But the thing about people that are in a certain situation where they have a low paying job, they living off of somebody, they don't have a car, they don't have this and that. This is my thing. I understand people fall on hard times. It's one thing for you to start out that way and then you meet me and then I'm able to help you to get on and we able to become a power couple because you get a better job, you move out, you get your own place, you get your own car, and you're doing good. And I was able to help with that, or even if, let's just take me out of the equation to say, you're doing what you can as a man to get yourself out of that situation, then I'm all for dealing with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to have the best of the best for me to deal with you, but it be the N-words that y'all not trying to do no better. Y'all been working at the same in and out dead job. You don't want to advance. You don't want to change it up. A lot of men won't get out here and work 2-3 jobs to make ends meet. They settle. They will go without. They're not driven and career driven to go out here and go get an education. A lot of men aren't doing that. A lot of men be having a bunch of kids, be having kids that can't afford to take care of. It is true. Like, that's why it's so unbalanced of qualified men that there are today. Black men that there are today. A lot of men don't even get their own place. They just move out with a girl. They just move in with a girl. They date. And it's like, where's the independency? And then we, as black women, we get bashed for being independent. It's like, what the hell we supposed to do? Who gonna pay our bills for us? When half of y'all can't even pay your own bills. You don't even have a bill to pay. So how you gonna court me and take care of me? I have to be independent. I have to go hard. Because if I don't, who else gonna do it? You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of times it's, oh, y'all think y'all men and y'all think y'all can do it. Who else gonna do it, sis? A lot of y'all be living at home with y'all mamas. A lot of y'all don't even move out till you about 30, 40 years old. A lot of y'all don't be having it. So, like I said, I had to, you know, establish some boundaries and establish some stuff, because I'm like, I can't keep going through the same results. If I want to get married one day and have kids and have a family, I can't keep dating fuck boys and thinking that I'm gonna be able to change them and they're gonna give me this life. So stop dating people with this certain history and this certain background. If you see a pattern with the same results in your relationships, it's you. You need to figure out what you're doing and what you're selling to people for you to end up with the same type of trash people or trash situations. You got to ask yourself, if it's the same pattern, you got to ask yourself, what am I doing wrong? And that's what I've had to do, and analyze myself to say, I don't want to date men with kids. I don't want that extra baggage. I don't want to date a man that's not financially secure and financially stable. I don't want to make more than a man, because that creates an insecure dynamic. It sets it up for some BS to go on in that relationship. So it's a lot of reasons why women do have standards and stuff, because we have suffered dating those brothers that they didn't have a good job. They had a bunch of kids. They had this and that. And it's like, again, if Eboni K. Williams wants to live a life where she can take trips when she wants, she can eat what she wants, she can buy what she wants, she can live comfortably, to go and date somebody that's not able to give her that, she's messing up on herself. You see what I'm saying? Like, how does that make sense for her when she wants this type of lifestyle? So she should be doing whatever it is to take to get this type of certain lifestyle. Now, like I said, there are a few fairy tale stories where you might meet a person that makes less than you, or you might meet a person that their life is not together when you met them, but maybe y'all end up being friends, and maybe you're able to influence them, or maybe they do eventually get their stuff together. Maybe they do get their shit together, and then boom, they end up being on the same level or more than you. Stories like that happen, but not often. A lot of times, these people that are in that type of situation, they ain't trying to get out of it, because if they were, then that's what they would be doing. And quiet as is kept, I'm gonna say this, then I'm gonna get off of him. If you living off of other people, if you ain't got no car, if you ain't got no job, if you ain't got your shit together, you should not be trying to worry about getting coochie or dating. Get your shit together first, then let's worry about dating. Then let's worry about chasing coochie and chasing women. Get you together first, then you got time to do other stuff. But you shouldn't be out here really actively dating or looking for nobody if you ain't got yourself together. Now, quiet as is kept, bus driver, if you out there, you watching, you got your own car, your own crib, you drive a bus, and you a good man, holla. Because I'm not like Eboni K. I give you a chance, Bookie, but you gotta come correct. But that's all I got. Well, I don't want to make this long, but I just wanted to address the fact that Black women are dating black men. Black women a lot of times settle, and it still don't get us nowhere. So maybe it's time to change. Maybe it's time to adjust. And, you know, like I said, I'm not saying that with the standards that I have, or with any standards that a woman has, you may have to adjust some standards if you come along and you meet a guy and he treats you good, but he might have kids, or he treats you good, but he don't make a lot. You got to figure out what's more important to you. And you may have to adjust your standards, but I don't want to say settle, and I don't want to say lower. Those are two different things. So yes, that's all I got. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.